Maitia, pozez agurtzen dut zure etorrera, nere bihotza pil-pil aurkitzen da zu ikustean. Zoriontsu eta maiteki dantzatuko dizut agurrik beroena. Maitia, pozez agurtzen dut zure etorrera, nere bihotza pil-pil aurkitzen da zu ikustean. Zoriontsu eta maiteki dantzatuko deta gurri goxo eta ederrena. Maitia, pozez agurtzen dut zure etorrera, nere bihotza pil-pil aurkitzen da zu ikustean. Zoriontsu eta maiteki dantzatuko deta gurri goxo eta ederrena. Urriska eta lau harinak dira bihotzez zuretzat eginak, nere oinak nahi lukete, dantzik ederrena ongi bete, zuretzat nere maite polit paregabea, sutagar maitasunez natorkizu eskaintzera. Urriska eta lau harinak dira bihotzez zuretzat eginak, nere oinak nahi lukete, dantzik ederrena ongi bete, zuretzat nere maite polit paregabea, sutagar maitasunez natorkizu eskaintzera.
Good evening, arratsaldeon. Buenas noches a todos y a todas. My name is Mathieu Vieux-Courville, and welcome to the 49th European Museum of the Year Awards. We are delighted to be here in Spain, and for those of you who are watching us online, we are here in Bilbao, in the impressive Euskalduna Conference Center and Concert Hall. For those of us who have spent the last 2 days together, this has already been very special. 2 days of exchange, of debates, made possible thanks to all of you, the 34 nominees for this year's European Museum of the Year Awards. And tonight, we've come together to celebrate the very best of that work. The EMYA Awards are the longest running and among the most prestigious museum awards in Europe. They have been presented every year since 1977. Over time, EMYA has become a key indicator of emerging trends and best practices in the museum sector. It recognizes institutions that engage with society, address contemporary challenges, and help shape a more just future. Before we begin, I would like to thank the government of Bizkaia, the municipality of Bilbao, and of course, our colleagues and our friends at the Euskararen Etxea and the Basque Language Interpretation Center for their warm welcome here in Bilbao, for organizing this event. Thank you, and thank you, Jordana Gasuso. I don't know where you are. Thank you, Jordana, and all the team. Let's give them a very big applause. Over the next 2 hours, I will be sharing the stage with many wonderful colleagues. And without any further ado, and to officially launch the 2026 European Museum of the Year Awards ceremony, it is my great honor to welcome the President of the Government of Bizkaia, Elisabete Echanove.
Arratsaldeon denoi. Good evening, everyone. A year ago, at the ceremony in Biarritz, the European Museum of the Year Award was announced. The name that rang out in that room was Euskararen Etxea, the House of the Basque Language. For those of us who love the Basque language, this is much more than an award. It is the recognition of something that the Basque people have been demonstrating for generations. A language does not survive on its own. A culture does not survive on its own. A language lives because a community decides it is going to live. The Basque language lives because generations of people decided to speak it and teach it, to protect it in the darkest times. It lives because a collective decision has been made. And Euskararen Etxea bears witness to that. Its award is the recognition that this effort can be an example for any language, any culture, any community that fights to preserve its identity. That award brings us here today. We welcome this ceremony to Bilbao, to Bizkaia, to the Basque Country, and we feel that the circle is complete. Tonight, we pass on the baton, and we do so with the conviction that the museum that picks it up will be a worthy recipient. 34 different museums, each with its own history, its own community, its own identity. That is the clearest proof that museums are not relics of the past. And we understand that well in Bizkaia. We are in the Palacio Euskalduna. This building is itself a cultural landmark. It was built on the memory of the shipyards that for decades defined this city. Today, it is a home for music, art, theater, and a place for bringing people together. It is not coincidence that we welcome you here, because this setting is the result of a cultural policy we have been building for decades. And that policy did not come from nowhere. It was born from the same spirit. What we do today as an institution is not different from what those generations did, deciding that our culture deserves to endure, so that we do not lose who we are. Many of you will know us through the Jauregia Museum Bilbao. It has put our name on the world map, and that is something we acknowledge with pride. But there is much more to it than that. There is a network of public museums that preserves and promotes the industrial, ethnographic, and social heritage of our people. There is a Museum of Fine Arts that is leading institution for research and outreach. We have just reopened the Basque Museum, which is a great gateway to Basque culture. There is Sala Recalde, a space for today's creators. And there is a policy to direct support for those who make culture, for artists, for companies, for projects that will not exist without institutional backing. That is what we mean by cultural policy, not just an iconic museum, but a system that springs from the same collective decision that of a society which chooses generation after generation that its identity is worth defending. At this ceremony, the Museum of the Year will be awarded, but above all, it is the people who, like you, make museums matter that are being recognized, because behind every nomination, there are years of work that deserve to be rewarded. Good luck to everyone. Welcome, ongi etorri eta eskerrik asko.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chanobe, for those inspiring words. This brings us to the organization that is at the heart of tonight's event, the European Museum Forum. The EMF continues to play a vital role in supporting museums across Europe, fostering innovation, dialogue, and excellence. It is my great pleasure to welcome my dear colleague who will tell you a little bit more about the EMF, our dear chair of the EMF, Amina Kravak. Amina, come to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. We are finally here. At the moment we have all been anticipating to discover the 2026 winners of the European Museum of the Year Awards. It is one of the most exciting moments of our gathering here in Bilbao, and a wonderful opportunity to celebrate achievement, but also values and aspirations that bring us together as a community. Over the past few days, we have been inspired by talks and presentations. We have exchanged ideas, we have exchanged experiences across borders, disciplines, and perspectives. We have shared the realities we have and we continue encountering in our daily work. A reminder that museums operate in an environment shaped by several elements such as political pressures, financial constraints, competing expectations, and difficult choices. So we do have to navigate a lot of that complexity. Questions we confront in museums are ultimately questions about the kind of societies we want to live in and we aspire to live in. So how we remember and interpret the past, how we make room for different experiences and perspectives that have been or are still marginalized, whose stories and voices are heard, and whose humanity is seen as deserving dignity, understanding, and remembrance, and whose is treated as negotiable. Across the globe, wars, displacement, violence, and polarization continue to shape and reshape lives and communities. From Ukraine to Gaza, and in too many other places, these realities are brought to us in unprecedented immediacy. So we, at the same time, are witnessing a growing willingness to reduce people to categories, single identities, to positions, rather than to engage with the intersectional complexity of experiences and identities. Museums, obviously, cannot resolve these crises, nor they can offer simple questions to these inherently complex and often deeply contested questions. But we do have a responsibility, we do have a role to play, because museums are fundamentally rooted in human experience. So we create spaces for encounter, we create spaces for reflection, we create spaces for dialogue. We tell stories that connect individuals' lives and experiences to broader histories and shared realities. And at this time, when dehumanization is becoming somehow easier and empathy is becoming more fragile, this responsibility that museums carries even a greater weight. So this is one of the reasons why meetings like this matter. They allow us to connect, to learn from one another, and to draw strength from being together in this work, with courage, with integrity, curiosity, and hope. Hope is something that we keep on repeating. It is really important that we do actively hope and continue doing things to our best abilities. So this experience of connection is not incidental to EMYA. It is at the heart of what it has become over time. Nearly 50 years ago, EMYA has been established to encourage museums across Europe to strive for excellence in public service, to strive for innovation and social responsibility. Over decades, it has become much more than simply an awards program, rooted in values that remain as relevant today as they were at the time when the EMYA was founded. So democracy, human rights, participation, inclusion, integrity, solidarity. EMYA has evolved into a community of practice, a space for exchange and mutual learning, a source of encouragement for museums that seek not only to excel in their practice, but also to question, to experiment, to engage, and to serve their communities. So these are the principles that guide EMYA jury in their demanding work each year. And as they travel across countries, visit museums in very different contexts, they carefully assess the contribution each institution is making to its community and to the wider field. It is really rewarding to our team to witness the impact this recognition has on the museum that are part of the EMYA journey. Many of you have told us over the past days, but also in previous editions of the program, that EMYA has really encouraged you to look at your work in new ways. And I have been delighted to see how often that process does not end with a museum receiving an award, but that just marks the beginning. It becomes a catalyst for further ambition, innovation, and commitment. And as we look ahead, our attention is slowly turning to the next important milestone in the life of EMYA, the 50th anniversary of the program, which you have heard earlier today, will be hosted by dynamic and fantastic Team and Bern next May. So we hope many of you will join us there to mark this remarkable journey together. But tonight, however, we focus on here and now. We focus on recognizing the extraordinary work of museums across Europe over the past year. This is also a moment of transition for our team. We are now saying farewell to our dear colleague Sharon Hill. I'm sure she is somewhere in the room. Sharon was an invaluable member of the Board of Trustees of European Museum Forum for the past 6 years. And dear Sharon, I cannot see you from all the light, but I would like to thank you on behalf of the entire team. Thank you for your time, energy, support, dedication you have brought to this role. Your contribution and humor, I was told to add, has made a real and lasting impact to our work and to this community. You will be greatly missed, Sharon. And now, as we move into the most anticipated part of the evening, I would like to thank all of you for your work, for your presence, for your openness, and your belief in what museums are and what we can contribute to society. Thank you to our partners, Council of Europe, which are also here with us tonight, to Sileto Trusts, to I don't see you, Municipality of Portimao, Museum of Portimao, and of course to our hosts here in Bilbao, Euskararen Etxea, and the government of Bizkaia, for your warm collaboration and hospitality. And finally, thank you, EMYA team, for the commitment and care with which we carry this work forward. So now let us move a step closer to the awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Amina. We now turn to one of the most significant recognitions presented within the EMYA framework. The European Museum Forum is proud to continue its long ties with the Council of Europe. The Council of Europe, with its 46 member states, represents remarkable diversity of cultures and perspectives, grounded in the core mission, the promotion of human rights, democracy, and the rule of law. And within this framework, the Council of Europe Museum Prize has been awarded since 1977 by the Committee on Culture, Science, Education and Media, and following the recommendations of the EMYA jury. This year's winner, Young V&A, was announced in December, with the official ceremony taking place in Strasbourg in April. And to help us better understand the significance and history of the prize, the committee has prepared a short video to explain the prize, so let us watch it together.
Since its creation in 1949, the Council of Europe has long stood at the forefront of defending democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. Yet these values can only remain strong when they live within our culture, when they shape how we think, create, and connect with one another. Recognising this connection between culture and citizenship, the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe saw early on the essential role of museums as places where learning, memory, and participation meet. And so, in 1977, in Strasbourg, the first Council of Europe Museum Prize was announced. The Joan Miró Foundation in Barcelona, Spain, received the inaugural award. Joan Miró's sculpture, La Femme au Beau Sein, offered by the Spanish government, became the symbol of the Council of Europe Museum Prize, a timeless emblem of creativity, diversity, and unity around shared values. Since 1977, the Parliamentary Assembly and the European Museum Forum have built a lasting partnership dedicated to excellence, innovation, the power of culture to bring people together and transform them. Across decades of change, this partnership has observed how museums have evolved not only in number, but in meaning, shifting from places of preservation to places of participation. From the beginning, one idea has guided this journey. Museums must be for citizens. They must place the visitor at the centre, inviting every individual to share, question, and belong. Beyond collections and exhibitions, Museums today are vibrant and vital public spaces, spaces that nurture creativity, empathy, and mutual understanding. The Council of Europe believes that cultural rights are human rights. Museums, archives, and cultural institutions hold the memory of our societies, helping us confront the past, imagine the future, and shape a more humane world. They are places where dialogue replaces division and where artistic freedom allows us to express even the most difficult truths. The Council of Europe Museum Prize honours museums that go beyond excellence, those that embody 3 guiding principles. First, the ability to reveal the value of culture and heritage and help people understand it. Second, the power to promote human rights and democracy, sharing our common values. Third, the courage to question identity, explore diversity, and build bridges between cultures. Together, these pillars uphold one great vision: cultural democracy, the right of everyone to participate in cultural life, and the opportunity to discover who we are as individuals, as communities, and as Europeans. For nearly half a century, the Council of Europe Museum Prize has honoured institutions that inspire, challenge, and unite us, proving that culture is not a luxury, but the foundation of freedom, dignity, and democracy.
With us tonight are representatives of the Committee on Culture, Science, Education and Media of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. We have Ms. Luz Martínez-Seijo of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, representative for the Council of Europe Museum Prize. Mr. Andries Griffroy, chairperson of the Parliamentary Assembly's Subcommittee on Culture, Education and Democratic Values. And from the Committee on Culture, Science, Education and Media, we have Ms. Tatiana Termasik and Dana Karanjak. To tell you more about the prize, it is a pleasure to welcome Ms. Luz Martínez-Seijo to the stage.
Buenas tardes, señores y señoras, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to address you this evening at such a meaningful occasion where culture, heritage, and shared values come together to celebrate excellence and inspiration. Since its creation in the aftermath of the Second World War, the Council of Europe has placed culture at the very heart of its mission. Alongside human rights and democracy, culture has been recognized as a powerful force for peace building, mutual understanding, and unity. The European Cultural Convention, adopted in 1954, set out a clear vision to bring Europeans closer together through the appreciation of our diversity, our histories, and our common heritage. Today, in the face of complex global and societal challenges, that vision remains as relevant as ever. Cultural institutions, and museums in particular, play an essential role in translating these ideals into lived experiences. They are not simply places where objects are preserved. They are spaces where dialogue is fostered, where identities are shaped, and where citizens actively engage with the world around them. The Council of Europe Museum Prize reflects this commitment. Since its establishment, it has recognized museums that go beyond tradition, institutions that place visitors at the center, that innovate, and that serve their communities in meaningful and transformative ways. Over the years, the museum landscape has evolved profoundly, becoming more inclusive, more participatory, and more responsive to the needs of society. Today, we celebrate not only excellence, but also courage. The courage to rethink how culture can contribute to democracy, equality, and social cohesion. Museums must be places where every individual can feel represented, and empowered, regardless of the background or circumstances. Ensuring access to culture is not a luxury. It is a fundamental right and cornerstone of democratic life. This year's prize recognizes a remarkable institution that embodies these principles in an outstanding way. The Young Victoria and Albert Museum in the United Kingdom stands as a powerful example of what a museum can achieve when it is rooted in inclusivity, participation, and innovation. Co-created with children, families, and educators, it offers a vibrant and engaging environment where creativity meets critical thinking and where young people are encouraged to explore themes such as sustainability, belonging, and empathy. By placing children and young people at the center of its mission, the museum not only inspires future generations, but also reinforces the values that underpin our democratic societies. It reminds us that culture is not static. It is a living, evolving process that must engage, challenge, and empower. Allow me to conclude by expressing my sincere appreciation to all those who contribute to this important work, the European Museum Forum, the jury, and all the institutions that continue to innovate across Europe. Together, all of us, we reaffirm that culture remains one of our strongest tools to build a more inclusive, democratic, and hopeful future. Thank you very much, and I ask Helen to come here, the winner of this year.
Congratulations again, young VNA. Now, being an EMYA judge is an amazing opportunity for all of us, but it's a challenge. We get to visit wonderful museums across Europe. We meet amazing colleagues in the field, but it's also a challenge to sit, debate, and choose among excellent candidates every year. And for that, we need a very good chair of our jury to, let's say, ease our passions when we debate. So this is why it's important for you to hear also from one of our two co-chairs. You've met her during these 2 days, and it's a great, great pleasure to welcome to the stage our colleague, Agnes Alias.
Thank you, Matthew. So I hope your pulse goes faster. But I will say you firstly good evening, everyone, and welcome. And before we turn our eyes to the winners, I would like to thank you all for the good energy, insight, and the exchange you have brought to the Bilbo. The last days, the conference has proved that the relevance is not achieved by standing still, but by remaining open to dialogue, participation, and the changes that are shaping to our societies. And the 49th EMYA competition has brought visibility to 34 excellent museums, which have been nominated by us to different awards. 7 EMYA judges visited museums in 16 different countries in last year, and many museums were visited twice. With so many exceptional museums, the jury's task of making the final decision was, of course, extraordinarily challenging. And tonight, we are going to honor a few museums with awards. But as you all have heard, in last days, every museum represented here has already accomplished something significant and has very much reason to be proud of themselves. The different awards within EMYA program reflect and highlight a set of values of the European Museum Forum. The European Museum of the Year award goes to a museum that contributes profoundly to our understanding of the world and advances new approaches in museum practice. The winning museum combines creativity, social responsibility, inclusion, sustainability, and the recognition of conflicts, and the courage needed to confront them, while remaining firmly rooted in the values of democracy and human rights. The Council of Europe Museum Prize we heard a minute ago. I will not introduce it again. The Kenneth Hudson Award for Institutional Courage and Professional Integrity is named in honor of EMYA founder and is given by the European Museum Forum Board of Trustees to a museum to celebrate courageous museum practices that challenge and expand common perceptions of role and responsibilities of museums in society. The Siletto Prize for Community Participation and Engagement is sponsored by the Siletto Trust. It celebrates a deep and empowering engagement between a museum and its stakeholders. The Portimao Museum Prize for Welcoming, Inclusion and Belonging is sponsored by the municipality of Portimao and recognizes museums that create a welcoming environment where everyone feels valued, respected, and a sense of belonging. The Museum Prize for Environmental Sustainability goes to a museum which shows an exceptional commitment to reflecting and addressing issues of sustainability and environmental health. Special commendations recognize a particularly significant practice or approach by a museum nominee which contribute to advancing public service and inspire other European museums. And this year, the jury has decided to award 6 special commendations. Before we move on to announcing the special commendations, I want to recognize you all, 2026 nominees, for joining EMYA family, community. Together we keep these values alive, and I am very grateful to our judges for bringing the diverse and thoughtful discussions in the every stage of the process. So you don't have to think that the processes or decisions go easily. So with a great pleasure, I will ask to join here to the stage with me, my dear fellow judges, Dominika Mrzkowska-Ruszyniak and Johan Segoi. And let's start celebrating the winners of this year. Thank you.
Arraldeon, buenas tardes. How are you?
Are you excited? Yeah. So we will start with the first special commendation. It's not in not particular order. The first special commendation goes to a museum that is both a welcoming place of remembrance, learning, and political education, and a memorial site that critically confronts a difficult past to address the enduring realities of persecution, war, and genocide. The special commendations goes to Obersalzberg Documentation Center, Berchtesgaden, Germany.
Well. The following special commendation goes to a science museum that fosters a passion for knowledge and scientific discovery. It inspires the next generation of scientists, engineers, and critical thinkers. And it is an outstanding contribution to public engagement with science and to strengthening scientific literacy and curiosity across borders. CERN Science Gateway. Mary, Switzerland.
We continue with the third special commendation, which goes to a city museum developed with its residents. Its efforts to engage diverse communities and build lasting relationships with its audience are commendable, especially in how residents are invited to contribute to updating the permanent exhibition, helping to show the city through eyes of its people. Tartu City Museum, Tartu, Estonia.
Congratulations. The following special commendation goes to an inspiring municipal museum, which exemplifies how a cultural and heritage institution can serve as a dynamic hub of culture and creativity. By providing its local community with free access to recording studios, concerts, workshops, and open creative spaces, the museum embodies values such as freedom of speech, artistic expression, and democratic engagement. Research Center Tchatchanis Museum Trikala, Greece. Congratulations.
The fifth special commendation goes to a museum that stands at the crossroads of science, culture, and perceptual experience. It invites visitors to reimagine how everyday sensory cues shape our memories, cultures, and ideas, and in doing so, shows how a museum can help rethink the role of our sense in our perception and interpretation of the world of a cultural meaning. The special commendation goes to Sensoria, the house of fragrance and flavors, Holzminden, Germany.
Thank you so much.
The final special commendation goes to an art museum dedicated to supporting emerging artists and to inviting visitors to experience art as a living conversation shaped by the surrounding community. Beyond exhibitions, it is an active meeting and creative platform where talks, workshops, and educational programs foster exchange between artists, audiences, and cultural practitioners. Kunsthaus Baseland, Basel, Switzerland. Thank you very much.
Zergatik nahi ote zaituzte urruti, zergatik ez zaitut eskutan eduki, zergatik, hainbeste zergatik, zergatik jakin nahi ez duenak daki. Beteko duzu daukadan utxuna, noiz izango zaitut bikote laguna, noiz orain aldia, noiz etorkizuna, jakin nahi ez dunak dauka erantzuna. Goizero zabiltza dantzari, urrun bezain gertu zaitugu ilargi, bere berri ez dut izan ta aspaldi, eman goraintziak askatasunari.
Thank you, Aker and Dance Company. And now we continue with this evening's prizes, because it's a lot of fun. So this next prize speaks directly to one of the most urgent challenges of our time. The Museum Prize for Environmental Sustainability recognizes institutions that actively contribute to addressing climate change and environmental degradation. Museums that not only inform, talk about, but inspire action. Now, to present this award and announce this year's laureate, please welcome one of our European Museum Forum trustees, Leontien Meijer van Mensch.
Oh my God, it was such a wonderful week. It was such a wonderful week and such an honor to stand here this evening. Values. I think this prize also very much reflects a value that will become even more important in the coming years. And are we as museums talking the talk, or are we walking the walk? Important question to reflect about. And sustainability, I find it a rather difficult word, and I still love the phrasing that all museums should contribute to planetary well-being. And I would even go one step further, that we as museums should contribute to planetary healing. So it's a really big honor to open the envelope. My eyes are not that sustainable anymore, so I'm a bit shaking also. Museum Prize for Environmental Sustainability. Hear, hear. This art museum embeds environmental responsibility across its practice, shaping both its curatorial direction and organizational culture. Talking about walking the walk. This commitment is reflected in its exhibition making and an ethos grounded in collaboration, efficiency, and long-term thinking. Through its public programs and actions, the museum encourages reflection on the broader relationship between culture, environment, and daily life. In doing so, it sets a compelling benchmark for how museums can contribute meaningfully to a more sustainable future. And it's really an honor and a privilege to ask the museum forward by the name the Lahti Museum of Visual Arts Malva Lahti, Finland. Woo!
Well, in Finnish language, I could say, jopas jotakin. What in earth? Dear colleagues and friends, it's a great honor to receive this award for environmental sustainability on behalf of Lahti Museum of Visual Arts, Malva. For us, sustainability is not just a theme. It is something we try to live in our everyday work. Our home city, Lahti, was the European Green Capital in 2021, and this legacy continues to guide us and inspire our work. Museums have an important role in helping people understand the challenges we face and in creating hope for the future. Thank you to our team, our partners, and our audiences for making this possible. We are proud to continue this work responsibly and together. Thank you.
Congratulations, Lahti Museum. Now, let's move on with the next prize. The Seleto Prize for Community Participation and Engagement. This is a prize that's been possible for several years now with the generous support of the Seleto Trust, whose commitment we We truly acknowledge and appreciate. The Seleto Prize recognizes the importance of building meaningful connections between museums and communities they serve. While community engagement can be challenging, it is essential to creating a more sustainable and inclusive future for museums. Now, to tell you more about the prize, it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage from the Seleto Trust, Mrs. Carol Jackson.
It is always a great privilege to be with you all and to present the Seleto Award to an outstanding museum each year. And I feel this year a special energy in the room. I think you've had a particularly good conference. When I was considering what to say tonight, I became very aware that all our winners have had this in common: knowledge, understanding, and most importantly, pride and affection for their communities. As one of our winners put it very succinctly, it grows from the community for the community. But to build a museum with the community only succeeds if it truly reflects the lives of those living there, giving a strong sense of identity and a feeling of belonging and pride in what is being created. Many have involved these communities from the start in grassroots initiatives, allowing them to set the agenda by inviting participation. This, as we know, then becomes a powerful base from which to foster inclusion and drive social change. And this is true for our widely diverse winners, museums that are boat builders in Croatia, puppet makers in San Sebastian, historical buildings in Dublin and Tallinn, and all our magnificent and worthy winners in the nearly 20 years that this prize has been awarded. This affection for his community was shown by the voluntary work that my father, Reginald Seleto, did as chair of Manx National Heritage in the Isle of Man. He was a successful entrepreneur in agricultural engineering, working across Europe, especially in Denmark, Germany, and Ireland from the 1960s until his retirement. He was an innovator, and in modern terms would be seen as a disruptor. The prize itself is a pewter basket created by the Art Nouveau designer Archibald Knox. Knox was born in the Isle of Man and later was recognized as one of the foremost designers of the arts and crafts movement, producing beautiful pieces for Liberties of London. I hope the winner of this year's Seleto Prize will enjoy holding this piece and that it will help them to continue their excellent work. But we need to find out who it is. Thank you. The Seleto Prize for Community Participation and Engagement. This museum is a platform for exchange, co-creation, and shared reflection, deeply embedded in the social and cultural life of its community. It is anchored in a strong educational ethos and a sustained commitment to young people, and connects heritage with contemporary social questions. Through participatory practices, community-informed storytelling, and long-standing partnerships with local organizations and volunteer networks, it ensures that local voices actively shape its work. This positions it as a living community archive, created with, by, and for its publics. The Seleto Prize goes to the Alpenstadt Museum, Sonthofen, Germany.
this is the moment I did not prepare for because I really didn't expect this to happen. So I'm just going to say thank you from my deepest heart to EMYA, because it's not so easy for a little museum to send someone to Bilbao, and then it was a bit of a discussion, is it even worth applying for the prize? And I think this prize is just showing how even the countryside and the rural countryside, museums can do so much for the communities, because there's not that much other community work going on a cultural basis in the Allgäu, in that area. Everybody's just about sports, and it's for all of my team, for who can't be here today, for everybody who created the museum, obviously, and for all the communities that we are still going to approach within the next couple of years. So thank you very much, EMYA, and, well, once again, I'm awed. Thank you.
Congratulations, Appelstadt Museum. We now turn to another important recognition, the Portimão Museum Prize for Welcoming, Inclusion and Belonging. Portimão is also the home of the European Museum Forum. It is where we have our archives and where our colleague Pedro Branco, who you all know, and I always take him with me, he's in the back. It's always all the work of the EMF. And so to present the prize, please join us in welcoming the mayor of the municipality of Portimão, Mr. Álvaro Vila.
Is it a pay raise? Is it a pay raise? It's the mayor's speech, which he gives me the honor to read to you. Well, good evening, everyone, on behalf of the municipality of Portimão. And it is with a great joy that we address you in this stage. What have we been discussing these years in these stages? Museums are places of care, open doors, and dialogue. These three aspects are the core principle on what it's done at the Museum de Portimão practice and on the municipality itself. And what makes us happy is that we've seen such displays of excellency on these particular values among the EMYA2026 nominees. That's you. The Portimão Museum Prize main focus is about welcoming, inclusion, and belonging. Being firstly a touristic hotspot since the 60s, we know about the importance of receiving and including the others within our culture, as well as listening and accepting their own contributions. We are used to live with a diversity of people, ideas, and thoughts. And we like that. We like to foster it, to the point that, look, we even created last Sunday an exhibition to contextualize this about the history of tourism in Portimão. Great team of Museu de Portimão, by the way. It's the words of the mayor, not mine. I will not be. And that's why we are so happy on making Portimão the house of EMYA since 2018. We are glad to cooperate with an institution that has been essential on recognizing innovation and public quality on this particular cultural sector, and also been fostering citizenship, democracy, and human values under the auspices of the Council of Europe. By the way, thanks for the prize in 2010. In the quite convulsed world we are living in, we have to stand by these principles. At least that's what we think. And I think we are thinking well. As we said before, the EMYA2026 nominees are composed by several museums that can meet this criteria. But in the end, only one can win the Portimão Museum Prize. Let's make the ta-ta-ta-ta. I'll give the justification, and I'll leave the mayor to make the winner is. Well, in this museum, visitors feel free to linger and participate. Of course, it's the Portimao Museum Prize, duh. It presents local heritage and everyday life in ways that support shared exploration across generations, while accessible interpretative layers and hands-on stations that encourage collective discovery. The museum integrates living elements that connect visitors to rural traditions and prompt reflections on the relationships, I'm not used to this at night, between people, animals, and the environment. This makes an approachable place shaped by curiosity, care, and shared experience.
The winner is Museum of Feudal Civilization of the Mediost Stabio, Switzerland.
Thank you so much, EMYA. This is really, really unexpected. So we did not prepare anything, but we are very, very happy, very, very proud. And I'm very, very happy in the first place to be working with this marvelous woman here. She's the heart, the head, the hands of our museum. Because this museum is made of one person and a half. And many, many other people that helps us. And yes, as I was saying, she's the head. She did all of this basically by herself because it is a very, very small reality. We are a municipal museum. As you can imagine, we don't have as many fans as we would like. So yeah, you can see how emotional she is because it's like 10 years of her life on a stage. So we are very, very happy, very, very thankful to all of us. And maybe, Monica, you want to say something also in Italian?
Now we call the rabbits and hen to say, we win!
Yeah, we will send a picture of the certificate with the chickens and the rabbits. And thank you so much to everybody, every one of you. Thank you.
Congratulations to the team. And now we arrive at a very special moment, the Kenneth Hudson Award, named after the founder of the EMYA. This is a prize that honors those who demonstrate courage, those who are challenging conventions. It is a recognition of boldness, vision, and integrity. And to present this award, let's welcome back our colleague Amina Kavak.
I know that everybody just wants me to open that envelope, so I will be very short. So this, as Matthew has already said, this recognition comes from the European Museum Forum Board for an institution which we recognize has really demonstrated in practice that it stands strongly and firmly in values of integrity, that it is not staying away from challenging institutional structures, barriers, or anything that society serves as a challenge. So I am ready for that envelope. Kenneth Hudson Award for Institutional Courage and Professional Integrity. this year's goes to a museum which has proved an outstanding example of institutional courage in confronting an often marginalized history and challenging the persistent stigma surrounding mental illness. Together with former staff, residents, and local organizations, the museum has been transforming a place of isolation into a living heritage. It exemplifies responsible heritage practice by restoring voice and agency to those previously silenced, while connecting local memory with broader European debates on human rights, inclusion, and social responsibility. Please join me on stage, Museum of Madness Institute Slovenia.
Thank you so much, EMYA. I really didn't expect this prize because there are so many beautiful museums here and who have done so much of work and so on. But yes, thank you so much, and thank you for our national contact, Tanja Rosenberger, who actually suggested that we should apply for this great award. I would also like to thank to my great team back home, who is working really very hard to preserve this heritage and the huge castle. And I would like to dedicate this prize to all people who suffered as mental health patients, and also to all of those who are still suffering because how we treat the madness, how we treat people with mental health issues. So I hope that this prize will also bring better recognition of this topic, and that we will all fight for better social inclusion, detabooization, and better quality of life for everyone. So thank you again.
Jeppa, aja ma alles asia. Oh my ja. Oh, hi, hi.
Thank you again, Aukeran Dance Company, Eskeri Sasko. Now, we arrive at the moment that defines this evening, the 2026 European Museum of the Year Awards. Difficult to stretch it a bit too long. The distinction is given to a museum new or recently reinvented that redefines what museums can be today, across disciplines, across scales, and across the diverse cultural contexts of Europe. It celebrates not only achievement, but vision. And to present this most anticipated award, I'd like to welcome to the stage our co-chairs of the European Museum of the Year Award jury, Agnes Alias, and you may remember her from the last couple of years as my dear co-host, Danielle Kushtin.
Thank you, Matthew. Yes, I didn't want to do this on my own because this is the past year. Come here, Agnes. Come a little bit closer. Yes, I know, but I just want to build up a little bit, but I also want to be here next to you because it has been a great privilege to do this with you.
Yes, the pulse will go.
Yes. So, the culmination of a year-long journey. At a time when the role of culture in strengthening citizenship, fostering democratic engagement, and building resilience seems more urgent than ever, we encountered during our visits museums that demonstrate the transformative power of culture in society through their commitment with their communities, their capacity to inspire dialogue, and their vision for the future. Echoing the words of Hannah Fox this morning, museums are civic lungs, spaces that help societies breathe, reflect, connect, and renew themselves. This award celebrates museums that place people at the heart of their work, museums that challenge conventions, engage critically with the world around them, and make a meaningful difference in the lives of their visitors and communities. So give me that envelope. Ooh, it's very exciting to do this, actually. So, this year's winner of the European Museum of the Year Award is a pioneering institution that brings together historical and contemporary urban environments to address urgent contemporary questions, including migration, sustainability, and social justice. Through its deeply embedded co-creation with local communities and innovative initiatives that link historical knowledge with ecological action, the museum offers a forward-thinking model for urban cultural institutions. Building on this work, it sets a new benchmark for innovation, relevance, and public impact in the museum sector through outreach and long-term relationships with local residents. It reimagines the open-air museum genre as a vibrant platform for dialogue, reflection, and action. The winner of the European Museum of the Year Award 2026, Den Gamle By, National Open-Air Museum of History and Culture in Aarhus, Denmark.
didn't write a speech either. Seriously. It's very overwhelming. I would first of all like to say that we are actually really amazed because so many wonderful museums have been presented for the last 2 days, and we didn't dare to dream because we were just feeling so lucky just to be here. It's very important for me as a director of Den Gamle By to dedicate this prize to all the wonderful people back home, the greatest team, working every day to create a home for everyone, a museum where everyone can see themselves. It's also a prize that is a tribute to the last more than 100 years of building and renewing itself, to visionary directors. I'm just lucky to be at the end and a part of that, but we promise to keep on the good work. Martin, Astrid. Martin has been in Den Gamle By for several years. Many of you know him. Astrid, she's head of our gardening team. But please, if you are listening back home, you are the best ever. This is yours. Thank you.
You can stay here. You can stay here.
Congratulations, Gamle By. And before we conclude this evening, and we head to the Guggenheim Museum for our gala, let's invite again all the award winners this evening for the traditional EMYA picture. So all the recipients of this evening, let's join our colleagues here on stage. Come on up. All the award recipients. And while everybody is making their way up to the stage, I want to thank, on behalf of everyone, the team of the Euskara Etxea and the Basque Language Interpretation Center for making this evening possible. Thank you very much to all the team, to the government of Bizkaia and the municipality of Bilbo, and thank all of you for joining us online. And we will see you next year for the 50th anniversary in Bern, Switzerland. Have a great evening, everybody. Congratulations. Yes.